construction. So it comes to that, but we would be quite happy to work if council said we would like a design factor to all get in together. Admittedly, we're not on the main street, but Manuart Street is tidy, it's wide, and if it were for us to comply, then fair enough.
I think the point is about us getting an assessment done. That is what the Act is saying you've got to do. So you've got time to do it, but sooner or later we're going to have to report to government on how many have been done and will be audited to make sure that we...
I have a problem with some of that, insofar as there was a lot of error with the Christchurch earthquake. A lot of error on several parts. We've also seen the recent fiasco of the methamphetamine rebuild. What a disaster. Somebody got it terribly wrong. And there's a chance here somebody could get it terribly wrong again by forcing something to happen. The next earthquake, the whole bloody lot falls down. I mean, who knows? So there has to be a balance here, I feel.
I agree, and I think the comments made about we're doing it together across the country, that the country's been put in these very broadband, high, medium and low. That's very coarse in itself. And the assessment that you do, they learn, when this is the requirements have been around for quite a number of years, and there was huge variation. You could nearly pick your engineer and get a double difference range on it. So they have tightened up how you make assessments to try and make it more consistent. But I agree with you. We are, we're only relying on, hoping it works.
It's a difficult process, isn't it? Yeah. We had a chippy visit us the other week. And he went on about the fact we have what I view as fibrillite sheeting on the side. I grew up with fibrillite when it had asbestos in it. I'm still here. So we need to be careful that fibrillite is only dangerous, or asbestos sheeting, when it fractures. So, it was a case, he was looking for work, no doubt. And yes, we have some rotten parts on some of these buildings. We will cover them so they look effective and proper. We're not going to go to a huge cost on an 80-year-old building.
Yeah. So I think probably it's worth reminding that prior to early 2000, I think it was, council had a lot of discretion of making those sort of local decisions. It could decide to approve things or turn a blind eye or whatever. Then there was leaky buildings drove a lot of it, but then there was a lot more standardisation nationally that everyone is required to manage, and there is no discretion given to councils. And we have to be accredited to be a building consent authority, and we've got to show that we're adhering to these national standards. So some of the requirements, whether we believe they're ridiculous or not, if it's been agreed nationally, we're required to enforce it, and you're required as a building owner to comply with it.
I think we accept that. Yeah. I think I'm ex-Auckland, and I think Auckland is a disaster. And I really feel that they're going to have a huge problem trying to rectify a lot of the problems that they do have. It's not just money that does it.
No.
But from our point of view, we're quite happy to work with council, with our two media buildings, to the best advantage to our own. We'd rather not pull them down. They suit our purpose, be they old or not. So we need to, we'll listen with interest.
Because I'll just, like coming on one of us, the engineering inspection that has to be done, is there someone local that does it, or does it have to come from out of town or something like, to do your test of its strengthened and stuff?
No, there is a time frame.
Yeah. There's a time frame. It'd be interesting to say that when you say there's local, there is a little bit of local resource, but because the demand is right across the country, those of you who may have tried to do it, it is difficult to source. So that's another thing that council may be able to do if there was a will to source it on your behalf to help you. We're not responsible for it, it's still your advice, but whether that's the thing.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If it has to be done, that's something. I mean, it has to be. Then maybe rather than getting one engineer, and like anything when you're working from out of town, if you can say say, right, we can get an engineer this day, which day would you like? And rather than individually paying mileage for that, would that be something council would help with? It has to be done.
Well, that's the purpose of tonight, hearing from you, because this is, it's your business, but if you think there's things that we can do together that will help you, then that's what we want to hear.
Well, the law says we have to do it,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we don't have a choice.
No.
So maybe we could work it out to be the most economic way to do it.
Yeah.
Just don't get us a lemon.
Yeah, so we need someone, yeah, that's gonna...
Well, that's the trouble, you see, we don't take on that liability either. You know, it is your building, it's, yeah.
But from your experience, you must have had you can work with others who know that have been successful in this
Yes.
sort of thing. We as individuals probably have no idea who's going to be successful.
We deliberately, as a council, not tried to be the lead because we want to be able to learn from others. And it's a bit like the formal letters. By rights, we should have started the clock already with your letters, but we chose to send an advisory letter out saying this is what it could be. Your actual letter saying what it is, we'll make it as late as possible, just to give us a chance to have these sort of discussions and then decide what to do before you're in the time clock with legislation.
Nelson jumped in very early 3 years ago. They're now reassessing all buildings they have assessed in the past. And the assessment's gone on average to around about 22%. Most of it's now 35, 36. And that's two different engineers. And they just, so what they did, they peer reviewed the first one. And all people from actually from overseas, I think they came from Los Angeles. Someone who had a huge amount of knowledge and just said, sorry, they're wrong. So that's why we're not being in a hurry to push this. Because now we know most of our engineers, and certainly we, as a trustee of the Old Theatre Royal in Rotorua, we got an engineer that we were really confident what they were doing. Unfortunately, we got an assessment we don't like, but very expensive. And it's going to cost, God knows, 450,000, no, 650,000 bricks. But, I mean, the point was that that person came in with a huge amount of knowledge, and not only that, he walked us through the whole thing. It took him nearly a week to do it. And we came away thinking, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. And we accepted the assessment.
And I think that's the danger. If council's involved in choosing or helping you choose which engineers, you're not going to like the answer they give. I guarantee that every time you get told it's going to cost a couple of $100,000 or whatever to strengthen your building, that's not really what you want to hear. So you've got to want to, as to be involved in that process.
So Kim, your idea of coordinating an engineer for the town has been discussed.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear, is it a good idea for the building owners that we progress down that track?
You'd have a uniformity then, wouldn't you, of what the reports are? I mean, I have had a report done, but it was done.
What was your building?
Eh?
What was the result of your building?
After we took the brickwork down, I came in over 30 or something, over 40%.
I know, depending on who your potential, people are going into the building, the banks, and certainly Australia said it had to be 67,
67%.
and banks also said it has to be 67. So it depends on who you intend to lease your building onto. You may be required to go even higher than the minimum legislative.
Yeah, but that's not a legislative requirement.
No, but it's a survival requirement if you want to keep that, quality tenant in, if that's what they are.
So just like there's the odd dodgy value around in the country, Wayne, what's the standard, what's the calibre of engineers out there?
Okay, there are two items here. The first is that the method of assessment that's accepted is a spreadsheet format that was designed by the New Zealand National Society for Earthquake Engineering. They're technical boffins, but they seem to get the same sorts of answers as you using that spreadsheet as you would get if you started off and looked for the weakest part of the building and did lots and lots of hand calculations. The second thing is that you must use a chartered professional engineer with experience in structural engineering. council won't accept anything less. These are specialist people. Yes, they cost, but they're really the only. In the past, I understand that these things have been written up by people who have a lesser knowledge of the actual conditions of the area, particularly the soils that the building stands on. That's a major contributor to the way in which a building behaves in an earthquake. And secondly, they have their reputation to uphold, their personal and professional reputation. They're not going to risk that. They're going to do it properly. So with that in mind, yes, you get from a registered professional structural engineer, you'll get a standardised, you tend to get a standardised result against getting some fella from Taihape to come in and fill out the form. And yeah, you're right, it's 34%, don't worry. And the assumptions that he's made are fallacious.
But that's what we want. Can I ask a question, a factor? If council are involved and we do it together, that means your cash flow is sort of being, we're actually would then be saying, right, we've got engineers coming around this month or this whatever. That would mean that you would then be doing your assessment in those months, which means you're paying the bills in the following months. If you did it yourself, you control your cash flow on that. Is that an issue we need to be aware of, or is the advantages of doing it together the main thing? I don't mean to say you put your hand up and say you're broke, but I'm just saying, do you think that would be an issue?
Depends what the advantages of doing them together are.
Yeah.
It's a bit vague, isn't it, really?
But we're still going to have to budget for it irrespective, so if we know in advance that we're going to budget.
But if we brought him or her in, or team in, for a couple of months to do them all, but people weren't ready to pay, then the advantages of doing them together would get lessened, wouldn't it? You need as many people in it as possible to bring the cost down.
Could you not pre-plan that? I mean, if you said this is possible, how many are actually going to be prepared to do it at this time? I mean, you're not just going to give them next week.
Because the bargaining would be in the numbers.
Yeah, that's like anything.
And you're going to have that commitment up front before we would try to get a person.
Yeah.
So the commitment has to come from you guys first.
I think, if I can suggest, the commitment is both in how many organisations can get into the scheme, and also when can it be done. If it's in a year's time, at the moment I think engineers would be very interested in that, because they're snowed under at the moment with workload, with this exact thing.
And if council was wise, they wouldn't do it in a rates month.
Maybe an assessment of cost, or an estimate of cost. These engineers, be it whatever trade they're in, can charge like wounded bulls. And to have it thrown on you that you're in for many thousands, I know it'll depend on the size of the building, therefore the time it takes. But to even have an indication of what the cost may be would help.
So we talked about the assessments when you required. Just again, do you think that, I know it's difficult for you to answer individually, but if you've got 5 years to do an assessment, will you be doing it in your 5th year, or will you be doing it early on to get an idea of what you want to do? I mean, how urgent is this in your mind, or is this just a nightmare that you want to postpone as long as you can? Because that obviously affects. We can do it together, but we can do it in year 5, or we can do it in year 2, whatever. What is the mood? Do people want to get town going earlier? What is your mood on this? Are you thinking this is the worst meeting you've been to because it's pressurising you, or is this exciting that all these people are going to be here and it's got an opportunity to take advantage of it?
I think the later you go, the harder it is to get an engineer. Because what will happen, all our small towns are saying, holy hell, we've got 1 year to go, and the pressure will be on engineers, and then we can charge it like.
I
We
was
would
saying
rather-
earlier on, the simple reason then you can plan what expenditure you can up to consider. Whereas
The assessments earlier then
Assessment.
to us as to.
So does anyone have a contribution to the assessments early?
The only thing I'd mention is when you introduced yourself, Mr. Neat, you were reading between the lines, you think the Act's going to change. Is that a bit,
I wouldn't.
maybe that's a bit forward, but you know,
I'm a bit cynical about it, only at the point of view though that what we were interested in is that she actually listened and agreed. She didn't disagree. Not in the past, we've spoken to others, they just said go away. Next month, didn't want to hear us. Jerry Browning was the same, might be impression by Christchurch, and you can understand it, so that they've gone through that pretty bruising time. And on top of that, CCT building gave everybody PGs, because that should never have happened. So, look, but I think,
Some could say it was just a true politician's talk.
yeah.
So, you know, you just don't know.
But the point was she made time to listen, which, we